the 39. Appears the rain may have stopped, but the fog is rolling in a little bit, at least from our vantage point up here. Down low, it looks pretty good. Pop comes from the outside. They're setting up a screen here to Russell. Across the 40, Holland. That may have been Johnny's first hit right there.
I think you're right. I think he played off the block that time and got his shoulder in there anyways. And I think we're going to have a timeout now, third down situation.
How important was it for that man to get that? And look at that smile. Look at that smile.
I hit it. I finally got it knocked, and it's still feeling pretty good. I'm still out here, so it's good to get that out of the system once in a while.
Now, Holmgren said that he's had some experience with something like this when he was in San Francisco. One of their players out there had some neck surgery, Thane Gash, had surgery similar to Holland's, and you never really know what's going to happen in that situation as we look at Bledsoe and company. But Holland just in tremendous physical condition, and what a player he was for Green Bay last year, the leading tackler, and he missed the final 2 games of the season.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to have him back here. I don't think it matters what kind of injury you have. Any kind of injury, if you're out for any substantial time, there's always going to be some uncertainty, some doubts, maybe even a few fears as to how it's going to feel when you get back out on that field. That's why tonight it's such a big test for Johnny Holland, and even that last play to take on a blocker in a live game situation and to come out with a smile on your face is just a great feeling.
Mike Holmgren still upset with his holdout, so they wish they could get in here and put this thing all behind him and concentrate on the Rams game September 5th. Right now, they just like to stop Drew Bledsoe and company. 3rd and 2 from the 47. Bledsoe flares it out there. Buckley on the coverage, complete to McMurtry.
Same pass that he dropped just a couple of series ago. This time, same route. This time, a completion from that standpoint. Just a quick 3-step drop. This time McMurtry knows where that first down yardage is, able to get it and get out of bounds to stop that clock.
They pick up the first down now. 1:12 to go, second quarter of play from Foxborough Stadium. On the grass field here now. The last time the Packers were in here, they beat the Patriots 16-zip in '89, but it was turf at that time. Bledsoe complete to the 40-yard line. Roland Mitchell on the coverage to Marv Cook on the completion. And the Patriots will just hurry up to the line of scrimmage. We're under a minute to go. See what kind of poise this young man has.
Yes, he does. He's led a couple of nice drives thus far. We'll see if he can finish this one.
Incomplete over there. Intended for number 81. That's Mike Farr, the wide receiver. Farr, a 4th-year man from UCLA. Buckley, excuse me, over there on the coverage for the Pack.
One more time again from the end zone. Bledsoe again kind of locking into that receiver. Hasn't looked enough yet to know to look off a receiver here and there. A little bit underthrown that time. Mike Farr, of course, his dad, Mel Farr, played with Detroit back in the late 60s and early 70s. And Mike's cousin, Jerry Ball, also another Detroit player. And another cousin, Mike Felder, the baseball player out with Seattle. So sports certainly runs through that family.
I'm sorry, you put Farr and Jerry Ball together and try to tell me they're related, John?
Well,
come on.
That's what they say, so I'm not going to doubt it.
48 seconds to go. We're going to look at Ty Detmer in the second half. Brett Favre will come back at quarterback, but the only other quarterback we're scheduled to see is Ty Detmer. I guess your thoughts on him, John. Coach Holmgren likes his game.
He's done it every time he's gotten into a game, and that's the one thing you cannot take away from that young man. He may not look like a physically imposing figure when he gets out there. He doesn't do everything pretty. He doesn't throw a great spiral, but he gets the ball where it should be. He moves the field, the team down the field, and when you're put in a game situation, you're based on your performance, and based on those statistics, he's done very, very well.
3rd and 3 from the 41. 48 seconds to go. First half of play. Complete, first down. Sam Gash, the fullback, run out of bounds by Roland Mitchell.
And they simply shielded Roland Mitchell from the play that time. Marv Cook ran a little route that prohibited Roland Mitchell from getting out there. They called it a little pick play. They should be calling that play. As a defensive player, I got very, very angry at times that they never would call that play. But it's a judgment call, and oftentimes the referee simply isn't willing to make that call or not in a position to make that call.
Do you talk to them about it, John? How much talking goes on between the players and the refs?
You try and alert them to those facts that they have a history of running those kinds of things, but it's hard for a ref to watch that play on every single snap.
1st and 10, and it's complete again. It's McMurtry. Clock continues to roll. 34 seconds to go. 14-yard pickup for McMurtry down to the 18-yard line.
They don't seem to be missing Irving Fryer much here in this offense, do they?
Absolutely not so far. Bledsoe will ground the ball, stop the clock with 24 seconds. Fryer, of course, sent down to Miami in the trade.
Yeah, he's down there with Dan Marino, I'm sorry. We'll take a look at this previous reception here. Greg McMurtry filling in very nicely at that wideout position. And Drew Bledsoe put a little stuff on this one. You can see Leroy Butler coming over and just unable to make that play. Might have even got a hand on it, but Marv Cook, as we mentioned, very, very soft hands, able to make the catch.
Boy, you look at the numbers for Bledsoe. His first start tonight, he's 11 of 18 for 119 yards.
I think he's answered the quarterback controversy out here, Joe.
2nd and 10 from the 18. Looking deep. Touchdown, penalty marker down. Vincent Brisby on the reception. Let's check the penalty marker. $18 yards on the pickup, John.
And you know, all series long here, we've seen him throw the ball on a line. This was a little bit of a touch pass. Let's check it out here. He just puts it up in the air and lets the receiver run underneath it. A nice play that time by the receiver in for the touchdown.
Was that George Teague that was called for the penalty?
I believe it was, yep. He got called for that, again, grabbing, didn't get his head around. He's had a problem of doing that all preseason long. This time, it was costly for the Packers.
So Bledsoe shows his medal, making it 13-7 with 20 seconds to go. They're on to try the extra point. That's Charlie Bauman, the veteran kicker. He does. Their leading scorer a year ago, believe it or not, with just 55 points. So that tells you what the state of the Patriot offense is. And let's look at it again. The young man from Washington State puts it right on the money.
This is a pretty pass to watch. You know, there's just not a whole lot to it. It's just a timing pattern. Lets the receiver run underneath it. George Teague not able to get there in time. A nice throw and a nice catch.
Some talk that perhaps New England had their eyes on George Teague, but the Packers made the trade with Dallas. Get up and grab that young man. Right now, probably not feeling real well, but Vincent Brisby's doing pretty well on the other sideline.
Well, they're pretty happy with Vincent Brisby. He was one of 3 second-round picks for them this year. And, of course, all those young guys are going to get a lot of chance to play based upon the fact that they're coming into a team that does not have a lot of great depth or a lot of talent. So he's showing himself very well tonight. Drew Bledsoe showing himself very well. I think they've got a couple of keepers in those 2 players.
You can count on seeing a lot of young players coming in here now. And also, John, with the cutdowns coming, Bill Parcells is going to be watching that waiver wire very, very closely.
Oh, I think he will be. You know, he knows this team is not stocked with a lot of talent. Obviously, when you have the record they've had the last couple of years, you're not coming into a situation with a great deal of physical talent. But you never know. You can find a couple of good players that can maybe help you in certain spots, provide key backups at certain spots, finding them, as you said, off the waiver wire.
9 plays, 61 yards for the touchdown. Pinkett and Thompson back deep, goes deep into the end zone. Green Bay will start from its own 20-yard line.
You know, we talked about the feelings Mike Holmgren has for Bill Parcells. He also mentioned this last year at the Combine in Indianapolis. He had a chance to sit down, and Bill was kind of explaining what he should expect as a coach in the NFL. And Mike said he really appreciated that. He felt like that was something that Bill Parcells didn't need to do. He's not known as perhaps the kind of guy to put your arm around you and to buddy up to you, but he felt like this was a classy thing for Bill Parcells to do at that time.
3 touchdowns have been scored in the last 2:44 of our ball game. So Favre just puts it down on the ground, and they'll just let the clock wind down here, John. Your assessment so far, very briefly, of the first half.
Well, it all happened there in the last couple of minutes. You know, the Packers looked a little lethargic in that first quarter, but they finally got some things going. A little bit too difficult, a little too easy for the Patriots to score those last 2 series.
14-7 our score. The Patriots in front at the half.
In real football, you had to keep an eye out for the goalpost. Now the Wisconsin Lottery is bringing that back with the scratch game first down. Add them up, get 10 or more yards to win the prize. Or look for the goalpost in the 4th down to win up to $500 instantly. First down, it's going to be a big hit. On sale now.
Yes, it is. The time is 5:01. The beer is Miller High Life, and the reason is clear. When the time is your own, it must be Miller time. Time. Miller time Miller Beer.
Yes, it is.
How about some good news for a change? Well, 4 of the top 10 models in J.D. Power & Associates initial quality study are Toyotas. It gets better. It's year-end clearance at your Toyota dealers. So you can get a new Tercel, best model in its price class for initial quality, for a price even better than its already low price. Or how about another leader? The sporty Paseo, an exciting way to get an exciting deal. Come to your Toyota dealer and see all the good news. But hurry, good news travels fast.
To soar with eagles, be the best. To win the industry's highest awards for quality, commit to excellence. Provide superior quality products and have the strength to offer them at more than 12,500 locations nationwide. More than any other major brand. Discover for yourself the difference quality can make. Fly with the new superpower.
Bill Jarts and John Anderson back with you. 14-7 our score. The Packers' lone touchdown coming right here. Familiar combo, Favre to Sharp. It's 30 yards. And a beautiful adjustment there by Sterling at the end, John.
It certainly was, and that's why he's an all-pro. That's why Brett Favre went to the Pro Bowl last year. You'd like to see more combinations. You'd like to see him spread the ball, but you'd really like to see him be able to run the ball better. I think we've got stats that they picked up just 11 yards on the ground that first half, and that is not going to win ball games for you.
Boy, but the quarterback's the story here in the first half. Look at the statistics. Bledsoe, his first start, 12 of 19, 137 yards. For Brett Favre, 13 of 17, 126 yards. Each guy with a touchdown. Bledsoe's got to be a confident young man right now.
He's had a nice first half in his first performance, his first start, and I think he's got a confidence developing right now. I think the crowd has taken to him very, very well. When he refused to go down on that one play, he kind of fell forward for the first down, and that's what you like out of a young rookie quarterback, somebody with some guts, somebody willing to put it out on the line for you.
They put it on the line, and right now the bottom line shows the Patriots leading 14-7 over the Packers at halftime from Foxborough Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Wouldn't you like a car that handles like a sports car? One that holds 6 comfortably? A car with 214 horsepower, dual airbags, ABS brakes? Introducing a car that gives you everything. Chrysler New Yorker, now at an amazingly affordable lease rate. Chrysler New Yorker. The American luxury car is now in the fast lane.
Who can look into the human heart and see the eternal love for a child? The song that stirs you, a memory of someone long ago. The lonely fear that comes in the 3 a.m. quiet, the coo and the smile of the first grandchild, and the hope that life can be better. Who can look into the human heart? We can. The Heart Center of Meritor and Physicians Plus.
Hello?
Hi, Mom. Thanks again for today.
This calls for saying thank you. You help us make it through.
I hope they weren't too bad.
No trouble at all.
And taking you for granted is the last thing that we do. Just had to call and thank you. Couldn't wait a minute.
Say goodnight to Grandma.
Good night, Grandma. I love you.
That's what this calls for.
Wisconsin Bell is Ameritech, your link to a better life.
Yonkers one-day sale store-wide starts with 50% savings August 21st only, starting at 9 a.m. 50% off terrific selections. Barberware, bath rugs, select Mrs. Better sportswear, traditional coordinates, and silk blouses, pants, Mrs. Silk jackets, junior shorts, sleepwear, Roman jewelry, girls shorts and tops, NFL and college activewear, short-sleeve dress shirts, bath towels. Terrific selections. It's 50% off terrific selections. Saturday only, starting at 9 a.m. at Yonkers. Terrific.
The Mike Holmgren Show, Saturday at 6:30.
Good evening, everyone. Here's a look at what's making news tonight. It's going to be 2 or 3 days before doctors in Philadelphia know whether Angela Lakeberg will survive today's surgery, which separated her from her twin sister. After nearly 7 hours of surgery, doctors say Angela is resting comfortably. Her condition critical. Since there was only one heart, twin Amy was chosen to die.
We're sad that Amy could not be a part of continuing with her sister. That's the difficult part for all of us and certainly for the family. but we are pleased and hopeful that this family will be able to have Angela.
The twins' parents learned this morning which twin would live and which would die. Without surgery, doctors say both twins would have died, and soon. A woman arrested for shooting an Oklahoma doctor who performs abortions is also wanted on outstanding warrants in Milwaukee. Rochelle Shannon is wanted for trespassing at 2 women's clinics. She's in custody for shooting a Kansas City doctor twice yesterday as he left his clinic. Authorities tracked her to Oklahoma when she returned a rental car matching the one in which the assailant fled. Saying he's not afraid, Dr. George Tiller went back to work this morning at his Wichita clinic. He was wounded in both arms and underwent minor surgery. The attack is not the first for Tiller. He is one of the few doctors in the country who performs late-term abortions. He's been known to wear a bulletproof vest, and his clinic was bombed in 1986. Wanawak students won't be starting classes on time. Classes were supposed to begin Tuesday, but that's been pushed back to the following Monday because of construction delays fixing the school's roof. The roof of the elementary school's gym blew off in a storm in mid-June. Workers are converting the gym into classrooms. Perry Printing in Waterloo is asking employees to take a pay cut. Spokesman Terry Fowler says the company's history of paying above the industry average is no longer possible because of declining profits. Wage reductions would vary according to job classifications. Some positions could be cut as much as 40%. Wisconsin Bell's parent, Ameritech, is cutting up to 1,500 management positions by the end of the year. That's 7% of its workforce. Ameritech has 7,000 employees in Wisconsin, but the company is not saying how many, if any, would lose their jobs here. Taking a quick look at our forecast, it's going to be great sleeping weather tonight with a low of 50 tomorrow, a great day as well, mostly sunny. We'll have a high of 78 degrees and low humidity. So what are you going to do with the beautiful weekend weather? How about dropping the top and heading to Door County? That's what more than 50 owners of classic convertibles are doing right now. We'll have more news coming up tonight on News 3 at 10.
And welcome back to Foxborough Stadium. We're at halftime with the Patriots leading the Packers 14-7. And right now, let's go back and check out that first quarter's scoring. The Patriots took the lead first on a Leonard Russell 1-yard touchdown.
Just a nice effort this time, a nice bull rush here. He avoids the tackle of Brian Noble here, and then just takes it down to about the 1 or 2 yard line. Next play, he was able to bull it in for a score.
The Patriots with 68 yards rushing here in the first half. Then it was Green Bay's turn to tie things up, 1:38 to go. Second quarter of play, Brett Favre, pretty good protection and looking deep.
Yeah, and he found his favorite target, Sterling Sharp, down at the end of this ball here. Made a tremendous adjustment on the ball, able to turn around, pick it up, and tie the score for a time being.
And then they wrapped it up. You talk about the nice little hookup. I think you might see a little combination, this combination clicking for the Patriots as well. It's Drew Bledsoe, the rookie making his first start, hooking up with Brisby. And they take the 14-7 lead. George Teague with arm in there. They call for the penalty, but it's still 14-7. And John, you look at the first unit, first against first, the Patriots are winning right now, but quite honestly, Green Bay, again, you touched on it even before that touchdown, the intensity level doesn't appear to be there, and that's somewhat surprising this close to the opener.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they came out really fired up to open this game up. If people were at work before they missed the first quarter and a half, they really didn't miss much. All the scoring took place there in the last couple of minutes, and Packers didn't get it in gear there until the final drive that they had it offensively. Probably a little bit discouraging from that standpoint, especially running the ball for the Packers. They got back to it last week with a pretty good running game. The week before, they just didn't have it there. And this week, it seems like it's non-existent so far this season.
Let's see what happens in the third quarter, John. 14-7 our score from Foxborough. John and I are back with the third quarter of action right after this.
There's big news where hot and cool connect.
Hot eats, cool treats at Dairy Queen.
The Royal Fudge Cake, only $1.39. Unbelievable. Moist chocolate cake and creamy smooth soft serve together with hot fudge and rich toppings for a great taste from Dairy Queen. Choose from 3 luscious flavors. Hot fudge with cherry, hot fudge with butterscotch, hot fudge with strawberry. The Royal Fudge Cake treat, just $1.39 at Dairy Queen.
Hot eats, cool treats. We treat you right. Whose Cadillac is that? Everywhere we go. Whose Cadillac is that? Up and down the street.
The 1993 Cadillac Seville at just $489 per month for 24 months with $21.93 down. Now I know why it's called a smart lease.
The sale you've been waiting for is here. It's Ayers Furniture's 53rd anniversary sale, their biggest sale of the year. There's a tremendous selection, over 50,000 square feet of beautiful home furnishings on display. Quality name brands like Lazy Boy, Broyhill, Sealy, Flex Steel, Lane, Schweiger, Stiffel, and more. And super store-wide savings from 20 to 50%. Don't wait. Hurry to Ayers Furniture, just west of Madison on Highway 18-151 in Ridgeway. Take the short drive to Ayers' 53rd anniversary sale. It's worth the trip.
I'll be back soon. You know what today is.
Sure do, honey. Today? What's today? Our anniversary? It is.
Need a loan fast? Valley Bank will give you a decision on your personal loan in 1 hour or less.
Hi. Hi. Glad to see you back so soon because you know what today is.
Laundry day.
I knew that.
Only Valley Bank can approve your personal loan in 1 hour or less. What you do with it is up to you.
And welcome back. Bill Jartz and John Anderson with you from Foxborough Stadium. And John, the statistics right now, the scoreboard says New England wins 14-7. What about the stats?
Well, the statistics don't lie here. The New England basically dominating all of those statistics. The one thing you really got to be concerned with if you're Mike Holmgren right at this point, look at those rushing yards, 11 for Green Bay. That's just something that is not going to win many football games for you. And the time of possession, again, one of those things that Green Bay has always been very much trying to control, not able to get it done tonight.
And coming in today, John, through 3 games, the Packers had been outheld in time of possession, if you will, 104 minutes to 75 minutes. That's something, obviously, that tells you one thing: the offense isn't clicking on all 8 just yet.
No, they certainly aren't. And they're still missing Ken Rutgers and Campen, but you can't keep using that excuse. They may have to line up the start of the season in that fashion also.
Pinkett and Thompson back deep to receive the kick from Sisson. Forget that. Let's check the penalty marker, though, back at about the 35. We may have had someone leaving a little bit early, offsides perhaps against New England. Then maybe we'll get a chance to return one against this Sisson.
Yeah, he's booted the ball very, very well, and that's not a way to make friends on that kickoff team when you have to come back on a night, hot, muggy night like this. You're coming out of the locker room, you've got some momentum, you want to go down there. Here it would have been touched back to the 20, but now it looks like you might have to go back and do it all over again.
Kicking team, offside, 5 yards, repeat the kick.
So now they'll back it up, try it all over again.
And these guys are breathing hard right now. I can guarantee you that. Bill Parcells says, what do I have to do to tell these guys? You know, we practice this. We do this in practice all the time. It's not that difficult. You just have to wait until that guy kicks the ball before you cross that line. And that's about as elementary as it gets.
You know, John, we saw Parcells across the way with the Patriots bench. There was some talk that maybe before they hired Coach Holmgren, he might be in a Green Bay Packer uniform.
Well, they had some talks with him, and it never progressed very far. But they did indicate that there were some talks between him and Ron Wolf, and he chose to stay in the broadcasting booth for 1 more year. I think Ron Wolf is very happy, though, with the selection he made in Mike Holmgren.
Surprised you that he came back out of the booth to come here and do
this? Well, I
this?
tell you, you get that itch, much like I think Mike Ditka might feel this year. You go into that booth and, you start seeing those guys out on the sidelines and questioning calls that might have been made or you might have done differently. And it's like a drug. You just want to get back out there and relive it if you can.
So Sisson will kick it again. John Anderson, by the way, gets that itch once in a while, too. He gives me a forearm shiver. This is Thompson now from the 2. Up to about the 25-yard line, we'll call it. 22 yards on the return there for Darrell Thompson. And again, we've said it before, we'll say it again. This play in the special teams, very, very critical for his survival in Green Bay.
Well, we expected to see him out there, and we did in this kickoff return situation. And if you're not starting, I don't care what you say, you've got to contribute on special teams. And Darrell, if he's not going to be a starter in that backfield, has got to prove that he deserves a spot. One of the ways to do that is by his return of kickoffs.
Dexter McNabb and John Stevens in the backfield with Brett Favre. You see his stats from the first half, very impressive. Put 1 touchdown on the board, the touchdown pass to Sterling Sharp. 1st and 10 from the 25, just underway here from Foxborough. Complete up to the 30-yard line. Jackie Harris on the reception.
We'll take a look. Yeah, Brett really nowhere to go. Decides instead of pulling it down and going, hey, I know Jackie Harris is supposed to be over here. He was right where he was supposed to be. Pick up of about 6 yards. that's just the experience. I think last year at this time, Brett Favre probably would have just pulled the ball down and picked up as much as he can. This time he's a little less likely to do that, knows where his receiver should be, and doesn't have to take the punishment running the football.
Corwin Brown put the lick on him. That's the player the Patriots picked up in the trade for John Stevens in the 4th round. Here's Dexter McNabb. Nice power move across the 41 to the 42-yard line. This is a guy, too, I think they're just waiting for this guy. He's got everything you want from a fullback, 11-yard pickup there, but he's just waiting for it to happen.
And that's the way to make it happen. You catch the ball and you put your head down and you bull through a couple of players. He's a guy who, and again, is probably on the bubble. This is a very, very big game for him tonight. We talked to Mike Holm this morning. He said that 5 players came into his locker room or his meeting room this past week and said, Coach, what's my situation? And he laid it on the line to these guys. Said, look, some of you guys, I know you're not happy with the amount of playing time, but that's just the way it is. You've got to trust in me that I'm going to make the right decision for this football club.
1st and 10, 13:23 to go. Again, it's McNabb making the most of his opportunity. Crosses the 40 down to the 37-yard line goes Dexter McNabb.
Maybe the most impressive offensive play other than the Sterling Sharp touchdown was that run right there by Dexter McNabb. Nice pickup of 21 yards. That's exactly what this running game needed to have happen to it coming out here in the second half. Puts his shoulder down, just bulls over a couple of people. You'd love to see that from a fullback position.
They take it all the way down to the 37-yard line. Some impressive running right there. Joe Sims with a good kick-out block to open things up.
Absolutely. I was going to say, credit those guys up front. Those openings just don't happen. Those guys up front are doing a nice job on this series.
They had just 12 yards rushing in the first half. That was 21 right there.
You think they might have gotten a little talk about that rushing game in that halftime?
Oh, I think maybe to Stevens. Stevens just takes it down. Nice little pickup there, down to about the 32-yard line on the tackle, Vincent Brown.
Nothing fancy. They're saying, look, if you're going to give us that throw, we're going to take advantage of it all day long. We're picking up 5-6 yards at a crack. It's not a high, risky throw. And until New England does something to stop that, I suspect the Packers will continue doing it.
Again, John, a little trouble hanging on to the ball, but he did hang on. Finally latched down by Vincent Brown, puts him down. And it'll bring up 2nd and 6 from the 33. About 12 minutes to go, third quarter play. The Patriots leading 14-7 over the Packers. Stevens in motion. Fire. Complete out at near the first down marker. Mark Clayton on the reception there. On the coverage for New England 37, that's Maurice Hurst. We talked to Brett. He said, what, about 76 plays they had in for this particular game today?
Lots of plays, more than I can remember. I remember going out as a quarterback, and of course a lot of those plays have different adjustments, so depending upon whether it's man coverage or zone coverage dictates what the receivers and the reads are going to be. Lots of things going on that people I think sometimes don't understand or don't appreciate that are going through the minds of those players out on the field, even while a play is developing.
Green Bay did not convert a third down in the first half. Parker flies. Stevens goes. Comes up short. Let's check the flag.
Well, they weren't able to get a first down going inside during that first half, so they tried to go outside this time. Not much luck in that case either.
Does that picture tell it all?
I'm not sure who he's talking to, if it was the referees or if it's his players that he's having a little problem with.
Looks like a motion penalty against the Packers. Late in the going night here as they discuss things, today's going to go against Green Bay. Late in training camp like this, John, he was working it pretty hard this week.
Yeah, he certainly was, and he knows that this club is not quite there yet. This offense and this defense have not come together. They have not gelled. They are still experimenting with some players at certain positions.
Motion on the back. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
And he was working it very hard, and it was quite vocal again. Let's see if we can get the motion now.
Well, I think they might have called it on Dexter McNabb. If you are going to go in motion, you've got to be going in motion for at least a second. And at that time, he was moving towards the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped.
So Jackie comes on now. We'll try a field goal. And it's going to be a fairly long one here, a 48-yarder. Brian Wagner will hold it. Jackie had a 57-yarder the last time he was here back in '89, but not this time. The 48-yarder goes wide right, and Jackie heads back to the sideline. While we take a commercial break, it's still 14-7 New England over the Packers.
Boy, am I hungry.
I've got just the stuff for you. Perkins' new stuffed pita sandwiches. You can have a chicken fajita stuffed pita sandwich with grilled chicken, cheese, and salsa.
I'm really hungry.
And fries and slaw. Or a grilled steak stuffed pita with hollandaise?
Steak, yes.
Guess you really like that steak stuffed pita. How about some pie?
I'm stuffed. What kind?
New stuffed pita sandwiches. Perkins, breakfast, dinner, and everything in between.
In real football, you had to keep an eye out for the goalpost. Now the Wisconsin Lottery is bringing that back with the scratch game first down. Add them up, get 10 or more yards to win the prize. Or look for the goalpost in the fourth down to win up to $500 instantly. First down, it's going to be a big hit. On sale now.
Charlie, back already? Yeah, I'm too mean to keep down. All right.
Morning, Charlie.
Morning, Mr. Bradley.
Bob.
Bob.
You really had us scared, you know.
Yeah. Would you believe I missed this?
Yeah, I would.
Warsaw rehabilitation programs for workers' compensation and group health lessen the pain for everyone.
14-7 our score here, 10:46 to go, third quarter of play. Chris Jackie having missed that field goal, and now he is just 1 of 4 in the preseason, but he's not the kind of guy that's going to get real rattled and start panicking, I don't think, Jim.
No, I don't think so either. He's had one of those were blocked. This was a fairly long field goal. You don't like to make excuses, but he did have a high snap, which is enough to throw off a kicker's concentration.
Bledsoe stays at quarterback for the Patriots. Again, per script here. Good protection again, incomplete, however. Ray Crittenden had the ball come loose. Coombs over there in the coverage for the Patriots. You know, John, you've got a new coaching staff in here. From a player standpoint, you went through coaching changes, I believe 3 of them. You played for 3 coaches. What goes through their minds?
Well, they're looking to bring in their players, and if you're going to make that team, you've got to impress them, perhaps even more so than some of the younger players, because as a veteran, they are looking to replace you. There's no doubt about that, with some of their own talent, some of the younger players who are they're going to be around, and they can coach for a good number of years. As a veteran especially, it becomes very, very difficult.
Corey Kroom gets the carry. Pretty big hole on the right side.
You know, I think Bill Parcells right now is making a statement with this team. He released a couple of players. John Stevens, of course, we mentioned that. He let David Howard go, who was their number 2 tackler last season. He just let him go. And there was another linebacker who was a little bit nicked up. Fellow from Bayport, I believe.
Scott Van Bellinger.
Okay, Van Bellinger. Basically, I think he's sending statements. Look, I want a tough-nosed outfit. I want players who are going to play with the little nicks. And if it requires me letting go a few players to make that statement, so be it.
3rd and 1 from the 39. About 10 minutes to go, third quarter of play. Second back gets the call. I don't know. I don't think so. Bryce Popp right there to bring him down. Corey Kroom again on the carry.
And Bryce Popp is another one of those players who's had a fine preseason filling in for Tony Bennett. This was a nice defensive stop this time. This might be enough to kickstart the offense. We'll take a look. They're going to run right at you here. A full handoff to that tailback. Bryce Popp plays off the block. I don't see who it was down below who got a little bit submarine and made him bounce it out that time. Bryce Popp will take the credit here. Let's take a look and see who gets in there first of all. Brett Collins with a nice play on the lead back to bounce that out. Brett Collins obviously filling in now for Johnny Holland.
McCarthy set to deliver it to Brooks. Fields it at his 12. And gets up to maybe about the 18-yard line. Good coverage down there. 49-yard punt, a 7-yard return, Eugene Lockhart. So the Packers will go from there, 14-7, still in the third quarter of play.
The folks at Lincoln Mercury wanted me to tell you about the great things happening at your Lincoln Mercury dealer, but I'd rather show you.
It's model year closeout. That means great savings on Mercury Cougar XR7, all for a price less than 4 years ago, just $16,743. Or check out the new Mercury Topaz GS. Great looks, great features, all just $99.65 MSRP.
If I were you, I'd stop watching television and get down to your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
Hurry, model year closeout ends soon.
Feeling pretty lonely. I need to talk it out. Let's laugh about the good times. That's what this call's about.
No, that was a great day.
Now I'm feeling better than how I felt before.
Let's get together.
I'm so glad you said
That's what this calls for.
Why not call a friend? Wisconsin Bell is Ameritech, your link to a better life.
Let me tell you a trade secret. The lowest prices on menswear happen in August, and always at S&K.
During S&K's final summer clearance, get 2 wool blend suits for what you'd expect to pay for 1. 2 for $199.90. Silk sport coats are reduced to $69.97. And selected summer sportswear is as low as $9.97.
S&K's final summer clearance. Right month, right store, right sale, right now.
Shop S&K at Westland Plaza on Odana Road across from Westtown.
From new medical research to health and fitness, we'll keep you informed. Watch Monday's Medicine on News 3, live at 5.
Well, Mike Holmgren has seen enough of his starting quarterback, Brett Favre, so he's going to go with this man. Number 11, Ty Detmer. His stats so far this preseason, 9 of 15, 119. And boy, I'll tell you, John, after he gets this play, he had to like what he saw of Favre.
Favre with a very impressive showing. We'll get into those stats in just a second here.
Not a whole lot doing there for John Stevens, who gets dropped back there. A little bit of a timing concern there. Let's go back and talk about Favre, though.
Yeah, he had to be happy with that performance. 17 of 21 for 152 yards. Made his last 11 throws in a row. He completed those last 11 for 11 for 114 yards and a touchdown. Really a nice performance. I think basically the problem with that first unit, an inability to convert on third down. I believe they were 0 for 6, and those are going to stall drives and not get you into the end zone.
Checking in at right offensive tackle, number 73, Tootie Robbins. And there's a lot of Tootie to check in. Detmer going to take it up top. Complete. Sean Collins, I believe it is, going up over Maurice Hurst.
You know, I was just going to say the stage is set here for Mr. Detmer to come in and do what he did last year. You know, bring the team from behind. There he throws the ball up. It looked almost like a punt return or a punt here. Watch the air underneath this ball. It's up there forever. But guess what? It's right where it should be when it comes down. Able to pick up a nice long gain that time.
Not pretty, but it works pretty well.
It does get there. And let's check it out one more time. Not a lot of spiral to it, but it does make the make it to where it should be, and able to pick up a nice long gain on that play.
Good for 24, John. 1st and 10 from the 44. 8:11 to go. Third quarter play. Detmer now feeling some heat, and if he's wide, down he goes. I thought he was going to maybe throw it away here, but 53, that's Chris Slade dragging him down for the sack. And there was a chance he could have thrown it. Probably could have thrown it away.
Could have thrown it away. Probably should have. You're not going to be able to stay back there for that long. He's got to just realize that the protection is going to break down eventually. Might have been able to throw it right there, but wisely doesn't fumble the ball by getting tackled from behind.
We can. Let's see if we can get some isolation on Tootie. You see him working against Pitts right there, and I'll tell you, Tootie has one thing that Coach Holmgren likes from an offensive lineman, and that's powerful legs. He's got to be able to honk, and he said that's one of the reasons why Dan Fike did not really stick around that long.
Just a little light in the shorts, basically.
Right,
yeah.
Right. 2nd and 15 from the 39. Wide open. Collins again. Nice pickup, complete. And there's another guy that's under the gun, but there's a guy they picked up, an 18-yard gain to Sean Collins.
2 nice receptions here, and again, Ty got pretty much tattooed there after he threw the ball, but a nice job that time keeping his feet in bounds.
Now watch Tootie pass protecting here against number 93. That's Mike Pitts, a veteran lineman. Look at that.
I think he's got him by the jersey a little bit, but you can get away with that. If it's inside the shoulder pads, they'll let offensive linemen do that all day long.
Look at the size of the arms and the legs and the body.
But every quarterback was happy to see Tootie back in uniform this week.
And he knows that offense very well. They'll pitch it left side. That's McNabb. Barrels ahead now to the 40-yard line. And the nice thing about that, you bring in a lineman like that, obviously it takes some of the pressure off, some of the holdouts, allowing Ilkin to go over to the left side, settle in there,
sure.
And he knows that offense.
Well, he does know that offense. I think that was one of the reasons that he wanted to come back to Green Bay. He said that he knows this offense. He feels comfortable with it. Plus, I think he very much likes to play for Mike Holmgren. He said, this is a nice place to play. I enjoy living here. He's just very, very happy to be back here.
And Tom Lovat, too, his offensive line coach, played with him out in Phoenix, St. Louis, so they're very familiar. Tom likes him. It's a win-win situation. It's also 2nd and 8 now from the 40. 6:30 to go. Third quarter play, the Patriots with a 14-7 lead. Detmer at the quarterback. Complete. Now it's balls loose. Let's see what they rule. Initially complete to Darrell Ingram, the tight end.
Packers got a little bit of a break that time. You don't want to put the ball on the ground. We'll take a look from the ground level this time. Ty does manage to scramble a little bit and finds his receiver. A little bit thrown a little bit behind him, which exposed the ball to the defender, and he just basically went in there and tried to rip it out, and he was successful at doing it, but Packers able to cover it up.
Renee Thompson knocked it loose, and it was Sean Collins who wisely covered up for Green Bay.
Here we are, a 3rd and 1 situation again. This will be the first time the Packers convert if they're able to get it and move the chains.
5:44 to go. Cut it back. Stevens first down and a little bit more. Finally, they connected right there. Really, when you look at statistics, John, that may be one to keep an eye on. Time of possession and 3rd down conversions.
Well, they've got a nice drive going here, and you need to pick up those 3rd down conversions if you're going to keep the chains moving and obviously put some points on the board. Up until this point, they've not been able to do that, and the result is only 7 points on the scoreboard.
1st and 10 on the 29.
Detmer, one of the big concerns Coach Holmgren has with him, he says he's sort of nonchalant in practice. And how do you attack somebody like that? How do you tell him to turn up the burner in practice?
You bring him into your office and you say, look, I want you to settle down and be a little more conscientious during practice. That's all it really takes, I think.
Do you like those paychecks? 1st and 10, it's John Stevens, and he barrels ahead. 41 finally puts the lock on him. That's Tim Gordon.
Nice look. Let's take a look at the blocking up front here. Nice block that time by Dexter McNabb, the lead back on the linebacker, and that's what you've got to do as a fullback. You've just got to come up and occupy the hands and arms of that linebacker, whose job it is to come up and fill that hole, play off and make the tackle. The battle went to Dexter McNabb on that situation.
John Stevens, second leading carrier right now. 8 carries, been a workhorse, 19 yards of rushing. Detmer so far, 3 for 3. And we got a little stoppage of play down there on the field. A timeout has been called. And we will take a break. 14-7 our score from Foxborough Stadium. The Patriots lead it with 4:21 to go, 3rd quarter of play.
Good news. J.D. Power and Associates rank 4 Toyota models among the top 10 models in initial quality. And the good news gets better. It's year-end clearance at Toyota dealers. And that means great deals, even on Camry, the best car built in America. But there's more. Toyota dealers have to make room for 94 models. So get a 93 Corolla, the best Corolla ever, for just $179 a month. So come to your Toyota dealer and see all the good news. But hurry, good news travels fast.
To soar with eagles, be the best. To win the industry's highest awards for quality, commit to excellence. Provide superior quality products and have the strength to offer them at more than 12,500 locations nationwide. More than any other major brand. Discover for yourself the difference quality can make. Fly with the new Superpower.
The time is 5:01. The beer is Miller High Life, and the reason is clear. When the time is your own, it must be Miller time. Time. Miller time, Miller beer.
Yes, it is.
Welcome back. Boston loves Green Bay. Number 99, that of course is Don Davies. Some fans out here.
Probably the little Wisconsin connection, I would imagine.
Ah, yes. Don Davey, the man from Manitowoc. Little elbow.
He had a little bit of a homecoming last week at Camp Randall. This week it's Mark Chimura, who played out here at Boston College and hasn't been in the game yet, but I'm sure he's got some family and some friends who would like to see him perform out here tonight.
Joe Sims is from out in this neck of the woods somewhere too, isn't he?
I think he is, yeah.
Joe Sims, Mark Chimura. Dexter McNabb gets the carry. Boy, he's looked good here, John. I don't know if he's been one of those guys, one of the 5 that went in to talk to Coach Holmgren, but if he did, he kind of got a message.
I think he did, and he's performing well tonight. Probably the most impressive ball carry of the evening so far for the Packers.
John, tell me about the mentality right now. You've been down in there. What's going on in these kids' minds? I mean, how do you as a veteran, you never really had to worry about that.
They just want to come back and be in a uniform next week. A lot of these players are worried about what's going to happen. They can't control what the coaches do tomorrow or the next day. They can only control what happens out here tonight.
1st and 10 from the 18. 10th play of the drive right here. Detmer hands it